Welcome back to GoldSeek TV. I am here with the founder, director, and CEO of BP Silver Corporation, Tim Shearcroft. Thank you for joining us today on the back of some very exciting initial drill results from the Cosuño project. So thank you for coming on today and giving us some insight and updates to what the first assay results look from the project.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for having me on again, Peter. Yes, we put out our first drill results yesterday. First two holes of 11 holes of a 906-meter program, and yeah, it appears that the market was fairly pleased with it. We are as well. Hole number one was highlighted by 29 meters of 80 grams silver equivalent. That's was 56 grams of silver and 0.28 grams of gold. And, we had second hole was reasonable. We had a very good intercept, a 3-meter intercept on that one, of 35 grams per ton silver and a gram gold. So we're quite surprised by the high levels of gold in both of the holes, and that's a positive sign.
So that's unusual to have gold this kind of higher up in the system to see these higher grades, you think?
Yeah, I mean, we expected to see some, but the type of rock that we're drilling through, some of the breccia, some of the vuggy silica, I mean, it acts like a bit of a trap, in this lithocap system. So it's good rock to be cutting, but we expect that the grades will increase at depth. So we look forward to getting out and doing more drilling, doing some deeper holes, and moving this thing forward. But a very positive sign. I mean, anytime you can have mineralization this close to surface within the lithocap, I mean, it's a good sign. As Dr. Stuart Redwood remarked in the news release, grades tend to get deeper, as you go down. And, we're looking for some, larger targets that are, feeders for what we've been cutting with the drilling. And I mean, if you don't have to look any further than 10 kilometers south of us to the Pulacayo mine, where that mine was, one major vein was responsible for over 600 million ounces of silver. So it can be quite substantial. So, what we're cutting 29 meters, if you think about it, it's a little root, or, a finger that we're cutting through. And we've got to, understand the system more. That's going to require some geophysics and obviously drilling and deeper drilling to really get the full picture.
So this obviously is just the initial results. In the same press release that you just had out yesterday, the quote by Dr. Redwood said, "Not all lithocaps are mineralized." So this is a good indication that there potentially is a larger system below under the surface there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these things I've mentioned before. I mean, they're created when these fluids rise from subsurface, and a lot of them, they come up and they create the lithocap, but a lot of the mineralization can recede, and you don't capture the mineralization in the lithocap. So the majority of lithocaps around the world are barren or tend to be lower grade, and there's many examples of those mines that are out there. So to have some economic mineralization in the first two holes close to surface, very, very positive. And we have to just hunt for the source. But we have a very large land package. It's a big system, as I mentioned before, 10.5 square kilometers, and that footprint is growing. We're looking outside that box, and we expect to release more information on just how big the footprint is in the coming months.
So you have the first two drill results. There's 9 drill holes completed in this first program. When do you expect the remaining results to come out?
Yeah. So 11 holes total, the 9 remaining. I've been told, last week that it would be another 2 weeks. I mean, we could possibly tack on another week. Labs are very busy at this time. So, I mean, they come when they come, and we'll need a few days to put together the news release. So, I think towards the last week of February, we
Okay.
could have those results in, and then following that, let's excuse me, let's see what the how the market reacts, and what those numbers look like, and then we would look to do a follow-on financing. We got about 1.4 million, 1.5 million in the bank right now. So we do have some cash to obviously get started with geophysics, and that would be the first step. But we do want to do another financing, so we're cashed up to really explore this property to the full extent, provided we have good assay results.
So if you look at the project, like you said, it's a 10.5 square kilometer and potentially a larger project footprint that you're looking at, and you drilled these first, well, the two results that came out, and I guess the other nine in total are from the southern portion of the property, or which part did you
Yeah,
focus on?
I mean, they're spread across four different targets. But what's important is it's along close to 2.5 kilometer stretch from between the assays we just released to the furthest point of assays pending, and then a few spots in between. So, these are outcropping areas within the system. I mean, there's a lot of cover, and that's what the geophysics is for to find the geometry of some of these structures and also what's below and deeper down underneath the lithocap. Um, so, I mean, it's an extensive system, and that's what's important is to demonstrate, mineralization, at surface in the cap and and throughout the system. And
Okay.
and the other thing I'll point out too is on these results, we only released the gold and silver numbers. We didn't want to use the entire periodic table, but there was indium, there was zinc, lead, copper, other minerals, trace elements. I mean, they weren't economic value. There were some high numbers of zinc, but um, the important thing is that those are in the system. And when we get assays back from the other drill holes, we're going to see some other numbers, like the target at Pocanita Chico that's a little bit higher in the system. Some of the sampling, I mean, there was antimony in the system. So there's going to be some other credits potentially that is going to um, allow us a chance to report higher numbers. But I just wanted to point that out on these first two assays.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so a very rich system, not just gold and silver, but other metals. So one last
Absolutely.
And just one last thing on the press release you mentioned that Mark Cruz, who was a former CEO and COO of New Pacific Metals, has joined as the chairman of the board. So you've been at you have a quite a nice team assembled in the company, and he has decided to become more involved. It looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. Bringing Mark Cruz, in as exec chairman, it really validates the project. I'm quite pleased that he accepted that role. It is validating, the project and the stage that we're at. Mark brings a tremendous amount of experience to the company, having been CEO, COO, and CEO of New Pacific, where they made two plus 200 million ounce discoveries. A lot of experience. He's a PhD geologist, but also just a lot of executive level experience. And it's great to have him assisting. But the team in general, it's a very strong team. Stuart Redwood, Keith Henderson, my co-founder Gonzalo Lemus, Arturo Prestamo, Rob McMorrin. Sorry, I have to name them all. They're all just very.
Yes. Mhm.
It makes for a very strong team. They're all very involved, very helpful, and that's making the company successful and the project successful. I mean, we have a good team, and I'm very fortunate to have them involved with me.
Very nice. Well, congratulations on your first positive assay results from the first drill holes, and we'll be keeping an eye out for the next seven to come out here hopefully by the end of this month, and we'll see how they come together. So we'll follow up then with another update and see how the story and this project comes together. It's quite exciting times in the silver and gold markets, and to be potentially on the heels of a big discovery here in Bolivia is quite exciting as well. So thank you, Tim, for your time and for the update.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you.